Mia.
Yes.
Talk about music.
Oh, okay.
Got 3 or 4 minutes. Just, don't go on at length, but, talk about music.
No, I'm
New stuff you're listening to, old stuff you want to throw attention to.
Ooh. This is interesting, because I didn't listen to music for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 5 days?
Okay.
For the last week. I was a little upset. But I've come into... I'm in the beginning stages of deciding sort of the short list for my top albums of 2016. So, off the top, like Lemonade's gonna be on there, quite obviously. But the new Group Love album I've really, really loved, because it is, if any of you have seen the really, really classic Bjork music video for It's Oh So Quiet. Imagine if you took that and made an album of it with a bunch of hipsters.
That's sounds great.
The new Group Love album. It is so wonderfully upbeat and enthusiastic, but with just the right, like a soupçon of irony. And there's a song on there that sounds exactly like the Offspring for some reason.
What? Really?
Yeah, they have like a weird Offspring-esque thing. I've got a question about what exactly would happen to the tape in Guardians. Can I answer that?
Please do.
Please do. Yeah.
Okay. This will be short. This will not be 15 pages, but so. For those of you who were around for tape, you might remember that you were told not to leave it in your car, like on the dashboard of your car, or the compartment.
Like audio cassettes.
Yeah, audio cassettes. We're all still around for like masking tape, but yes, audio cassettes. Magnetic media is made up of a lot of different polymers. Polymers are very long chains of material, but you've got a piece of tape, and then you've got this gummy polyurethane that has a bunch of magnetic particles suspended in it. That's what makes the things go. Polyurethane is very, very, I think it's hygroscopic, but I might be wrong. But
it absorbs water?
It absorbs water, yes.
Right.
So if there's water around, it will absorb the water.
Uh-oh.
And then it will undergo a process called hydrolysis, wherein the water will break up the polymers into smaller molecules, and that's not great for holding magnetic stuff together. So, what would have happened to that tape is that, one, the fluctuating temperature and relative humidity of space to spaceship to back to space to back to another spaceship would have just, like, any fluctuations just kind of make tapes break down and cry in a literal sense. Two, I'm quite sure that at least one of the many spaceships he encountered would have had a magnetic field sufficient to just kind of zap whatever was there. And three, just generally, like, the radiation as well may not have been great, but mostly it just would have been, at this point, both tapes would have been a gummy mess of stuff that,
Yeah, especially considering how frequently he was listening to it.
Oh, right? Yeah, the tape that he kept listening to would also have broken by this point, just from repeated play.
So, Guardians of the Galaxy, not realistic.
They must
idiots. I think my favorite part of researching that paper was...
Thanks, Marvel.
I found a huge thing on computer tape and its preservation, and there were a bunch of questions about magnets, and it was like, would you... And it was in a research paper, though, would you be able to go and get one of the magnets, like, that lifts up cars from a junkyard and put it on the back of a car and drive it past a computer center and erase all the tapes? And so... the answer involved going to a junkyard and taking the very nice junkyard man's time to ask some weird questions, and then concluding that no, that kind of electromagnet would not only fry the car's battery, but also be too heavy to fit on the top of any kind of commercial vehicle.
I remember, like, a movie or something where they try doing that, and it just like it pulls all the shelves over.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, because they're trying to do it in a police evidence locker.
Yeah. No, they were like. So it was like, I'm sorry, supervillains, but no,
Oh.
you have to do another thing.
There's a moment in Cryptonomicon where the Neil Stephenson book, where there's a lot of this really weird esoteric stuff that comes up, and one of the things that comes up is the guys are like, the cops or federal agents or whatever are raiding some guy's data center, and they go in, and as they went in, they grab this. I'm trying to remember to get this right, because maybe this is an article I read, but I'm pretty sure it was in the book. They were going in and grabbing everything and walking out, through the doorway, and he had basically wired the entire door frame as an electromagnet.
That would do it.
And if you walked anything in or anything out, if you didn't hit the panic button first, then it would wipe everything as you were going through.
That's actually a really, really smart,
Yeah,
it was
clever.
ingenious.
extreme security measure.
Yeah. They also had things like Van Eck phreaking, which I thought was like just this hilarious idea, because it's like, there's no way that's true, and then you find out it's true, you're like, oh wow!
Yeah, Van Eck phreaking is using an antenna to read the video memory buffer on somebody's computer.
You're reading because everybody had...
Sorry, what?
No, this is crazy.
Oh, old school computer hacking.
You're
so
using
great.
an antenna to recreate what the electron gun is doing in the cathode ray tube.
That's so cool!
On the other side of a wall.
That's
You
so
can literally you can read what the electron gun is doing, and and with the right antenna and the right setup, you can actually reproduce that on the other side of a wall.
Yeah.
And find out what somebody's doing.
That's wow.
Yeah. It's really
Damn.
it's one of those things where it's like, this is so out there as an idea that no one would ever really do this, but it is possible. And
Kind of makes you glad that the internet of the 90s was not as connected as the internet is now, because all this really just incredibly cool hacking stuff was kept small and terrifying.
Yeah.
In other words,
Not like it is now.
terror.